Hello, this is Tom Elmore from Anchorage, Alaska, and welcome to Torching Around. This evening, we'll take a look at an Otto Burns blowtorch that I recently picked up, and we'll show you how to safely operate this instrument. This blowtorch, when I picked it up, had a couple things that needed to be corrected. It needed a new O-ring in the filler plug in the bottom here, which I installed, a rubber O-ring. And the check valve that resides in the bottom of this pump is made out of cork. It's a little foot valve with a spring and plunger mechanism that had to replace the cork that had deteriorated. And also, it's important to oil the leather shoe, or it's kind of an O-ring, or a leather washer, I guess to call it, that provides sealant inside this plunger cavity. And if you have a leaky check valve, you'll get as a plunger. They call this the Viagra effect. Will actually come back up on its own after several seconds due to the check valve that's leaking. But let's go ahead and we'll pump this up. They recommend about 40 pumps. I find it doesn't take quite that much to get this pressurized. And it's important also to give the lock a couple turns here just to keep it down for extra safety measure. Now, some people like to fill the preheating cup here by opening the valve and putting their hand on it and letting the gas or the fuel under pressure. By the way, which I use camping fuel, or Coleman fuel. This was designed to burn white gas. I think some people even burn gasoline in these, but it tends to plug up the innards, especially the fuel filter in here. So I try to stick with Coleman fuel. And I like to prime it by taking a pill bottle like this and opening the valve. And we'll get a little bit of fuel in here. Won't take much. About that much you see sloshing around. We'll go ahead and put it in the cup here. About 3/4 full ought to do it. And this step is important here, which you want to preheat the burner assembly in order to get the fuel to turn into a gaseous state. So let's go ahead and do that now. And we'll let that burn. And as it gets down toward the end there, burning all the fuel off, we'll go ahead and open the main valve up, and we'll ignite it. And the end result is we'll get a nice blue flame when we're successful here. And we still have just a little bit of Coleman fuel in the bottom of the preheating reservoir. We'll let that go a little bit longer. Then we'll open up the main burner. If we open it up too soon, we'll get a stream of gasoline that will shoot out anywhere from 3 to 4 feet, and it tends to make spurts on the ground, and you have to be careful not to start a fire, and then you have other issues now to deal with. And burning grass is probably not a good idea. And we should be getting close to operating temperature here. Momentarily I'll go ahead and open the main valve on the back of the burner assembly, and we should get a nice blue flame. And as you can see now, we've got a blue flame here, sufficient to solder or melt lead or whatever source you may need to heat up. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this informative how-to video.